Okay, so the Switch 2 is happening, right? Now, there's a lot to be said about the Switch 2. I know people have mixed opinions. Me personally, I'm partially looking forward to it and partially not sure. I mean, we don't know anything. We literally don't know anything about it. So, I think it's cool. I'm always down for a new Nintendo console, but I've been burned by Nintendo recently. You know, the Switch is great. Switch was great. Keyword being was. Um, but after, Joy Cons breaking and the hardware just not being able to run multi console games, or not multi, you know what I mean, like multi platform release games like Mortal Kombat and stuff, and just some of the other stuff Nintendo's pulled in the later years of the Switch's lifespan. It's I mean, it's hard to be optimistic about their next console. You know what I mean? Especially considering they're kind of reliving their past mistakes by calling this the Nintendo Switch 2. So I'm not sure if this is a brand new console or if it's just a better Switch. Are games released for this going to be able to play on Switch? Is like, you know what I mean? It's the same problem with the Wii U. Like when people saw the Wii U, they're like, okay, is this like their next console? Is this like just a better Wii? Same thing with the new 3DS, except that was just a better 3DS. No one really knew what to think about that because Nintendo really sucks at naming things. I don't think it's the worst name they could have picked, but it's certainly not the best. But anyway, I'm cautiously optimistic about the Switch 2, and I've seen other people talk about kind of what they want to see on it. Considering we are finally getting a brand new Mario Kart game after like 15 years or however long Mario Kart 8 has been like the main Mario Kart. That game came out on the fucking Wii U. The Wii U came out in 2012. Like, it's been over 10 years for sure. I don't know exactly, but like, we're still playing the same original like Mario Kart from 10 years ago. So anyway, um, yeah, so because of all that, I decided that I also wanted to make a video talking about the games that I want to see on the Switch too. Now, part of me is kind of skeptical about this whole thing because I don't know what kind of hardware it can do, like what kind of hardware it has, what kind of games it can play, whether or not these games, like how they'll look, whether we should focus on like graphically intense games or just like kind of new ideas. I'm not sure. But here's the list that I made. First of all, I want a Mario 3D Collection Deluxe, or what was it called? Let me restart that. The first one here is Mario 3D All Stars Deluxe. This was an idea I had. For those who don't remember, Mario 3D All Stars was a game they released on the Switch for like a limited time. You can't get it anymore on the eShop, and it's really hard to find in stores. Because they made like a limited stock, and it had Mario 64, Mario Sunshine, and Mario Galaxy all on Switch. Great bundle, great games. No idea why they would make it a limited release. I think it was because like Mario 64 was going to be on Nintendo 64 Online, but that's still a really stupid reason. You know what I mean? Anyway, so my proposal here is that you re-release that game, but you make it like a permanent release, and then because it's on the Switch too, you can include 3 more games, specifically 64DS, the DS re-release or remake of Mario 64, which I know that'd be weird playing it on a console like with just one screen, you know, but like I feel like they could make it in such a way where like maybe the bottom screen is like, you could like switch how you want to orient it. Maybe like the bottom screen is basically just a map, so just like put the map on like kind of in the corner or something. I don't know, they could figure it out. But that game does have a lot of stuff that the original Mario 64 doesn't. I honestly think it's maybe not the better game, but more nostalgic to me. I mean, I grew up with the DS, I didn't grow up with N64. And I'm sure a lot of people did, and Mario 64. So, I don't know, I think it could be fun. Mario 64. Bit more obvious, Mario Galaxy 2 I think would be cool on it. It's basically just more Mario Galaxy, so like there's not much more work they have to do porting it over. And then the next one, I think it should include Mario Odyssey, like for the Switch. I think that'd be really cool. I think like that game's old enough that you could include it in a bundle like that, for like a reduced price. And people who don't have it already and want like a collection of other games, can get it for the new Switch. You know, I think it'd be a good idea. Obviously, I want them to make a new 3D Mario game, but like if you just do that, then that's fine because all those games are amazing. So like they can do that and then be like, you have that, and it's HD. This console's not gonna have 3D Mario, sorry, that kind of thing. You know what I mean? Which would kind of suck, but like, whatever. Next up, so obviously they're gonna make a new Smash Bros. for Switch 2. But I feel like if we're just doing like, oh, it's another Switch, then we can do like a deluxe version of Smash Ultimate that just has all the characters and all the DLC and just maybe a couple new characters, maybe like some Echo Fighters or something, maybe Shadow or something, I don't know, like that. But I think I would be okay if this new console doesn't get a new Smash Brothers, just because Smash Ultimate was like such a huge deal, and since the Switch 2 doesn't seem like such a departure from the Switch, why should the next Smash Bros. Game seem like such a departure from the last Smash Bros. Game? You know what I mean? So yeah, just like an updated version of Smash Ultimate, all the same characters, plus all the DLC, plus like 1 or 2 new characters. You know, we don't need, maybe not 2, maybe like 3 or 4. 3 or 4 new characters I think would be fine. And if they're Echo Fighters, that's perfectly fine too. Next up, this one's, I'm listing off a bunch of old games that I want to see re-released on this thing, but a Kingdom Hearts collection that isn't the cloud version, because I don't know why they did that. They re-released all the Kingdom Hearts games on Switch, but made them all so you play them over the internet. So they suck, and it's the worst way to play those games. Every other console got like proper re-releases, or ports, or whatever you want to call them. But the Switch got the cloud versions. Those are games for the fucking PS2. You're telling me the Switch can't run a PS2 game on its own? Anyway, I think that would be a good idea. Just like releasing a whole collection of Kingdom Hearts just baked onto a game card or whatever. You don't have to download anything or stream it or whatever. I think that'd be, because I feel like they could do it for the Switch right now, but they wouldn't because they already released it. So like, hold on, there's someone. Oh man, don't want them to hear me through the walls. There's someone. There's a ghost. There's a ghost outside. Anyway, what was I saying? Right, yeah. Please cut that part out. Anyway, I don't know about Kingdom Hearts 3. Again, I don't know how powerful the Switch 2 is. Maybe it is. Maybe it is powerful enough to run Kingdom Hearts 3. If so, absolutely re-release that on it, and probably Kingdom Hearts 4 whenever that comes out. But I think just re-releasing the original Kingdom Hearts games. Also, this is a different idea I had, but I really want to see like a Kingdom Hearts portable collection, because there are 3 games that have never been like properly ported to any other console, and those are the original Chain of Memories for GBA, 358 Days Over 2, or however you say that game's stupid title, or and Coded or Recoded for the DS, the one for like mobile phones and then DS. So like I think if they release those 3, those games have never been properly re-released, because all the re-releases have Chain of Memories, which was the remake of Chain of Memories for the PS2, and not the original Game Boy one. And then they just have the cutscenes from Coded and Days. So I think it'd be cool if they made it some kind of collection that just had those games on it. And it could be a bit cheaper since they're like mobile ports, you know what I mean? I don't know. Yeah, so that's another idea I had. That's not necessarily for the Switch 2, I just think they should do that. Anyway, the next game I want to see on Switch 2 is ARMS 2. For those who don't remember, ARMS was, it wasn't a launch title for the Switch, but it was like announced during that whole like Switch presentation. And it was like an original fighting game that had like motion controls. It was kind of like Wii Boxing, but you had like spring arms, and it was really fun. And they started releasing new characters for it, but it didn't get like the insane amount of buzz that like Splatoon did when it was announced. So like Nintendo kind of silently killed it. I don't know why, like they didn't even give it a chance. It's really upsetting. They didn't even let Springman be in Smash Brothers. They made him an assist trophy, and then later they were like, you can have Min Min, I guess, as a DLC character, which a better choice because Min Min fucking rules. But anyway, yeah, I think I'd like to see them try again with ARMS, maybe like not re-release it, but maybe make a proper sequel, maybe change up the gameplay a bit so it's a bit more fun and like a bit more like fast-paced and like a more like a proper fighting game, because I think ARMS could fucking do numbers, and they didn't really give it the chance that it should have had. Next up, I want to see a new Mario Maker game, but I want it to either be one of two things. Either a 3D Mario Maker, where you get to make your own 3D Mario game, or a Mario Kart Maker, excuse me, or a Mario Kart Maker game, where you remember that game Mod Nation Racers for the PS3? That, but for Mario Kart. Just like make your own tracks and stuff. I think that'd be really fun. I mean, there's not much more I want to say about that. Like, you know, fucking 3D Mario Maker, it would go so hard. Oh my god, it would go so hard. Imagine like, imagine the insane shit people would make. I don't know how you would change the physics between like the different I imagine like you could do like it wouldn't be so much changing like the physics like it is in Mario or 3D or Super Mario Maker. You know what I mean? Between styles, like I mean between like Mario, like if you choose the Super Mario Bros style versus the Super Mario World style, it kind of changes the physics of like the game engine and stuff. I don't know if they do that, but like you could change like how Mario looks and like how everything looks in the game, but like it still kind of play exactly the same. I think that'd be the easier way to do that. I imagine they'd have the Mario 64 style, the Mario like Sunshine style, even though I don't know how you'd include Flood in that, maybe like as a power-up was like an extra thing. Mario, I guess, yeah, Mario Galaxy, and then Mario Odyssey, and then it'd be cool if you had like the Mario 3D World style too. That'd be kind of cool because there was that Bowser's Fury game that like it was really good and like no one talked about it, but it was good. Anyway, yeah, so either a Mario Kart Maker or a 3D Mario Maker, something like that. I think that'd be really fun. Or both, but like I feel like they wouldn't do both. I feel like they just do one or the other. So yeah. Next up, this is a bit of a weird request, but I want to see another exclusive Marvel game. Marvel's been making a lot of games lately. They just did Marvel Rivals. They're making a Black Panther and Captain America game. You know, there's the Spider-Man games on PS4, or not PS4, PS5. Wolverine's getting a game also exclusive to PS5, and then eventually on PC. And I feel like a lot of these consoles, I don't know, does Xbox have an exclusive Marvel game? I feel like that Captain America one's gonna be exclusive to Xbox. I don't know. I wouldn't know. Either way, yeah, I think it'd be cool because Nintendo, the Switch did get an original Marvel game, an exclusive Marvel game, I mean, in the form of Ultimate Alliance 3, which I really liked. I thought it was cool. I thought it was a bit of a departure from the old Ultimate Alliance games, and also kind of raw that like those games used to be multi-platform, and then suddenly they're just for Switch. Like, I thought that was a bit raw. So, I don't know. If they do another Nintendo exclusive Marvel game, I'd rather it be like a new idea than just like, oh, it's Ultimate Alliance 4 or whatever. I don't know. But I don't know what they could do, but I think it'd be kind of cool to see. Like a Switch 2 getting an original Marvel game. I think that'd be cool. Next up, I really want to see a new Donkey Kong game. Donkey Kong Country Returns for the Wii just got re-released on Switch. And I feel like a re-release like that at the very end of the Switch's lifespan is kind of signaling that we're going to get a new Donkey Kong game, because they did the same thing with Luigi's Mansion. They released the original Luigi's Mansion on 3DS, like right as they were going to do Luigi's Mansion 3 on Switch, right? So I feel like we're going to do something similar with Donkey Kong. I think like they're kind of reminding people that Donkey Kong exists, and then we're gonna get a new Donkey Kong game on the Switch or Switch 2, and also Donkey Kong got an updated look. Sorry. Donkey Kong did get a new updated look in the new Mario Kart game, and there's also a Donkey Kong Land open now in Japan, in Universal Studios Japan. So I feel like Nintendo's starting to kind of bring Donkey Kong back as a brand. So I could see Donkey Kong getting a couple new games on Switch too, actually. Next up, I really want either a re-release of Kid Icarus Uprising, like an HD, or just a new Kid Icarus game, like a sequel to Uprising. I think that'd be really cool. I don't need to explain that one. It would just be cool. I don't know. My next one here is Switch Sports, but good. Remember Switch Sports? Nintendo Switch Sports? No? Good, because nobody else does. For those who don't remember, Switch Sports was Nintendo, like, wanted to revitalize the whole Wii Sports thing. It was basically Wii Sports but on Switch, but they completely changed the way it looked. Like, they weren't Mii's anymore. There was no, like, it was a complete, it looked like a ripoff of Wii Sports. You know, remember when the Wii came out and like everyone was like, oh, we also made a sports collection, and they kind of tried to make it look like Wii Sports but make it legally distinct enough from Wii Sports that like it was like its own thing. They usually call themselves like Wii, like WE. Like, remember Wii Ski? Remember that one? Yeah. No, you don't. But anyway, that's what Switch Sports felt like to me. It didn't feel like something Nintendo made in-house. So if they do make another Switch Sports, I'd like them to kind of just go back to like the Wii Sports style. Like, if you must have those new characters, fine. The like the replacement for me, what are they called, like sports mates or whatever? I don't care. But if you must have those, fine. But like, you know, bring back some of the original games, make it more aesthetically like, and don't make it just like an online game. I don't know why they tried to make it like a weird live servicey style game. It was so weird the way they did it. I don't know why they did that. Like, the online stuff is fun, sure, but the way they made it, like, you could unlock costumes and stuff, but there was like, I don't know, it was so many baffling decisions made with that game. So I want them to do another Switch Sports game, but I want them to actually just make it good this time. Just do a good job this time, Nintendo. Speaking of sports games, my next one here is a new Mario and Sonic at the Olympics game. The last one came out in 2020, when the Tokyo 2020 Olympics happened. And that was the last, I think, yeah, that was the last one. It was on Switch. It came out in 2020, and then the Olympics were delayed until 2021 because of, you know, the whole Corona thing. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like as those games came out, they started like getting less and less good. But I've always had kind of a soft spot for them. So I don't know, where's the Olympics being held this year? Let me look that up real quick. Yeah, the Olympics are happening next year, right? And that's the Winter Olympics. So, where's it happening? Milano. Where is that? Oh, Italy. Okay, cool. Yeah, okay. So fucking, yeah, do Mario and Sonic game next year. That would go hard. Mario. And then the other idea I had for the Mario and Sonic Olympics game was maybe have some guest characters. Like, actually, a better idea would, instead of just doing Mario and Sonic, do like Nintendo versus Sega. You know what I mean? Like, have Mario, Zelda, Kirby, Link. Wait, Link is from Zelda. You know what I mean? Like, just have like their characters versus Sega's, because Sega already does that with their like Sega All Stars Racing or whatever, or Sonic and Sega All Star, whatever those games are called. Which they kind of abandoned that for Sonic Team Racing. Did anyone remember that game? Man, that was a weird time. Anyway, yeah, you know what? Forget Mario and Sonic, just do Nintendo versus Sega All Stars. I think that'd be badass. Like, put Billy Hatcher in it and fucking what's his name from Monkey Ball. Fucking, did you see Among Us is now in Monkey Ball? What the fuck is happening to the world right now? Anyway, last one. This one's not really a game, but I think because it's a new console, I think they'd be able to do this. So Nintendo has those like online service things for their old games, like the NES Online, SNES Online, Game Boy and Game Boy Advance, and then N64 Online. I feel like we're like far enough from the GameCube and the DS where they could do online services for those too. I was kind of against the GameCube one because I didn't think Nintendo would really do that. I think GameCube games are modern enough where you could like slap an HD filter on them and sell them as a new game. So I couldn't see GameCube Online happening. That one's more of a maybe. I feel like DS Online could absolutely happen. I don't know how they do it, like I said, for the Mario 64 DS thing. I feel like it would probably have it so like you could like reorient how you want the screen to be, kind of like how they did DS Virtual Console on the Wii U. You know what I mean? Like you could have both screens on screen. Obviously you can't do it with a gamepad on the Switch, but like you could do something like that. I don't know. It could be fun. Could be cool. So yeah, that's what I'd like to see on Nintendo Switch 2. That'll be the end of this video. Thanks for listening to me yap. Later.